another episode of Lancer Central. I'm TJ Wengert. With winter sports and spring sports overlapping, that means a lot to get you caught up on. Without further ado, we'll start with the men's basketball team, who are on a tear. Winners of 3 in a row and 7 of their last 10, vaulting them up to 5th in the Big South standings, in line for a first-round bye in the postseason tournament. Their most recent win was against High Point this past Saturday on Senior Day by the score of 57-54. Leading the way was sophomore Deshaun Wade with a career-high 19 points, followed closely behind by Juan Munoz with 13, a lot of those coming late to propel Longwood to the win. For the women's team, they're coming off a close road finish at Campbell University, but it was ultimately the Fighting Camels who came away with the victory. The team has a pair of games this week to get back to their winning ways, though starting on Tuesday night at home against Winthrop. The basketball teams weren't the only ones locked in a close contest this week, as the women's lacrosse team hosted American University and went down to the wire. Molly Barkman scored with less than 5 minutes left to give the Lancers their first lead of the second half, but ultimately the Eagles notched 2 scores in the final 4 minutes to come away with the W. Well, and it doesn't get to be any more of a nail-biter than what baseball played on Saturday. Longwood held a 7-6 lead going into the 9th, but NJIT scratches a run across to stay alive, but it's no concern for Justin Looney and company as the freshmen send the Lancer faithful home happy by uncorking the 2-0 offering over the left field fence for the walk-off grand slam. Don't worry, you'll get to see that a little later on in the show. Last but not least, the women's tennis team was matched up against North Carolina Central, coming away with the 6-1 win to improve to 4-1, and the men winning 7-0 against NC Central, now sitting at 4-3. There's no shortage of action for Longwood Athletics and no shortage of coverage on LongwoodLancers.com with the latest news, results, and stories. Next up, we throw it to Sutton Reekes with an awesome story coming from Longwood Baseball.
Hard work and determination are 2 words to describe senior Nathan Iskowitz, who last month was offered a D1 scholarship after being a walk-on player for 3 years.
Now batting catcher, number 35, Nathan Iskowitz.
I mean, I came in summer before my freshman year, not really knowing what I was going to do. I played here in the summer, and Coach Mel offered me a roster spot. And then ever since then, I've just kind of been working my way up. It feels awesome, man. It really caught me off guard, honestly. Like, we were just kind of teaming it up, business as usual, you know, like, good meeting, let's go get him. We got games in a few weeks. He said, one more thing, like, we got a guy in here. It's been grinding, you know, doing his thing these 4 years, being a team guy, being all this and that. And then he looked at me and said, you're not a walk-on anymore, like, we got money for you. And I was like tearing up, man. Everybody was jumping on me. It was a crazy feeling. I've never experienced anything like it. It was one of the best things that's ever happened to me, honestly. It was awesome.
To learn more about what that moment meant, I spoke with Coach Mao.
After our team meeting, we were trying to team it up right here on the rug in the center of the locker room, and I said, hey, one last thing, and I couldn't help but get a little emotional talking about him, because he means that much to us and to me, and the journey he's been on has been a tough one. So, you know, it got to me a little bit, and I was very happy to deliver that news, and you saw that in the team reaction. Everyone was elated for Nathan at that point, and I think he broke the couch with those guys piling on him. I love how humble he is, and he's been extremely appreciative of the opportunity, and you know, love the way he carries himself in the community and in the classroom, and that's why he's very deserving of that scholarship.
The Lancers' next home game is February 28th when they play Binghamton University. For Lancer Central, I'm Sutton Reekes. Now let's get into the top 6.
Starting off the Lancer Central top 6, in at number 6, we have Dana Joss scoring her 5th goal as 7 Lancers would score for the faithful as they fall to the Eagles 20-19.
On to play number 5. You might be wondering, TJ, why is there a pop-up in the top 6? Well, because Dylan Champagne has his glove knocked off and comes down with a barehanded snag.
In at number 4, women's hoops, Lancers Pirates. This is Akilah Smith, the defensive force, with 8 rejections. Just 3 days later, she would break the single-season block record.
Keep in mind, you mentioned only a sophomore. Scary how high her potential is. On to play number 3. Fly ball out to center field. Michael Peterson comes down with the snag, and if you don't know, do not run on this cannon for a right arm that he possesses. Your everyday fly out to center, 8-2 double play.
And at number 2, we have a strong argument for maybe the dunk of the year, Leslie Incarium, all over Russell Dean, the young gun, handing out Kodak moments left and right.
Have mercy, Leslie Incarium. On to play number 1. How do you top that? Well, a walk-off grand slam in the bottom of the 9th is about all that can do it, and a little backflip for the exclamation point at the end of the play by Justin Looney. Well, that'll do it for this episode of Lancer Central. For Rob Galloway and our entire Lancer Central production crew, I'm TJ Wengert. Until next time, we are signing off.